Vansi Vibhushitakaran Navanirdabhat Pitambara Darunabimba Phaladharoshthat Purnendu Sundaramukhat Arvind Netrat Krishnat Param Kimapi tat Tvamaham na jane Jnana Shakti Samarudha Tattvamala Vibhushita Bhukti Mukti Pradata Cha Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Divine souls, Jai Shri Krishna, Jai Gurudev. You all know we are going through chapter 12, Bhakti Yoga. So far we have covered mantra 7. Last week we started with verse 8, and that is verse Bhagavan says, in that verse Bhagavan says, Mayi eva mana adhatsva Mayi buddhim niveshaya Nivasheshashi mayi eva Ata urdhvam na samshaya. The meaning, Mai, that on me, eva. Mai eva is Mai eva, on me alone. Man adhatsva, fix your mind. Alone. Mai buddhim niveshaya. Mai, on me, buddhim, that intellect, niveshaya, dwell in. Let the intellect dwell in me. Ata urdhvam, thereafter, nivashishyasi, you shall always live where? Mai, in me. Eva, alone. In me alone, you shall always live. Na sansaya, there is no doubt about it. So meaning is, fix your mind on me alone and let your intellect dwell in me. Thereupon, you shall always live in me. Of this, there is no doubt. Now let us look at the words. The most important thing to realize here, that in his instruction to Arjuna and through him to all his bhakta, Bhagavan emphasizes on two words, man and buddhi. Remember, it is man and buddhi. Now, one may inquire, are man and buddhi separate? Are they not same? As Patanjali has, Maharaj Patanjali has talked about, that mind and intellect are one in the sense that mind and intellect, they interact, they remain in communion with each other, in tandem with each other all the time. Bhagavan says, you place your mind on me. Now, one may think, how can we place our mind onto him? Is it a book that Bhagavan is telling to put on the table? Yes. If you are talking of, place your hand on the table, you will use your hand and put on the table. But the question is, the mind, is it such a thing that can be placed somewhere. And when you are asking something to be placed on something, that has to be an object. You all know that Bhagavan is not an object. Bhagavan is a subject. That it is unimaginable, unthinkable. You cannot conceive something which is catchable or holdable, like one thing to be grasped. But the instruction is, and it is clear instruction, that place your mind, Arjuna, on me alone. We'll go and be deep into it. Why Bhagavan is talking and how it can be done. But let us understand this beautiful thing which is called mind. Now, this mind, you will say, is a part of Antahkaran. You know, there is Bahirkaran and Antahkaran. Bahirkaran is like these senses, Karmendriya, Gyanendriya, and Antahkaran is combination of Man, Buddhi, Chit, and Ahankar. These are parts of Apara Prakriti. Apara Prakriti. Bhumi Rapo Naro Bayu Kham Mano Buddhi Revacha Ahankar Itiyam Me Bhinna Prakriti Ashtadha. Ashtadha, Apara Prakriti, and that is Bhumi Rapo, 5 elements, plus Man, Buddhi, Chit, and Ahankar. Now, when we talk of these 4, Ahankar is that component, ego, which is small I, we call it. We identify that as small I, that component which gives the individuality of the person. When we talk of Chitta, that is the repository of all the information or memory all over the years, past lives have been all accumulated, and that is with us, accumulated, and we keep always searching from, as a library, there is something, you pick up some and get information from there. It will automatically come before you. It has a tremendous importance in our life, that Chitta. We will, at the moment, hold on to that. Let us talk about this Man and Buddhi. Now, we know the function of mind is threefold: Sankalpa, Vikalpa, and Mananam. It is always you have the thought process is going on in the mind. That is the Sankalpa. And there are millions of them. These are the greatest enemy of individual, that he has problem in handling all these vritti, we call it, the thoughts which are all the time forming within you. A best example is, if you sit down for your prayer, you sit down with a rosary in your hand, you start your japa, and you think that you're concentrating you're trying to concentrate your mind onto one object of Bhagavan, at the feet of Bhagavan, or in the flute of Bhagavan. You keep that for a moment, and next moment thought comes that your daughter is in Chicago, what is he doing? Your father is in India, what is that? Your job is immediately turns away. How it comes there? Because it is those thoughts which are in a way depending upon your guna, sato guna, or rajo guna, or tamo guna, tendencies in you which propels these thoughts and keep on throwing on you from all sides, depending upon how you are built up, how you have been able to control your thoughts for a period of exercises, yogic processes, how you have been able to control them. So the question is, we have these thoughts there, and you create some sort of opinion, yes or no. You keep on contemplating, and then the intellect, the buddhi, comes from word Buddha. Buddha is awakening. Buddha, This means to ascertain. Nischatmak bhava. That you, buddhi gives you that power to discern, to ascertain whether whatever information is being sent to you from your mana or mind, you will agree or disagree, will allow or disallow for your senses to execute that action. So in the process of execution of action, importance of buddhi comes in. That is the reason Bhagavan is saying, place not only your mind, which is extrovert, the bahirmukhi. Our mind are again associated with our senses, man, buddhi, all the five senses. These senses are tentacles which keep information, receiving information from outside world and sending on to the mind. And depending upon how much trained your mind is, it reacts or it gets information from intellect and reacts. So Bhagavan is saying, place not only your mind, which have tendency to go away outside extrovert, but also to restrain your or concentrate on your buddhi intellect and let your buddhi and intellect dwell in me. And that's how you place your mind and intellect not to the things external world, not to the objects outside the world, but on concentrate onto that supreme Brahma which you have concept, you have conceived of the idea, whatever idea you have conceived, concentrate onto that. So that is the need for mind and intellect to integrate and give that proper guidance for the individual to take the action accordingly. This vritti, which are the thoughts, these thoughts are vasana related. Depending upon they are sa-visayak chitta vritti. These thoughts are connected to objects, as I mentioned earlier, but re-emphasize this point that if as long as Vishaya are outside, you are associated with objects outside, your mind will not be able to concentrate towards the intellect and towards Brahma. So the importance of allowing your mind, the content of the mind, the vrittis in your mind to be purified. It is said that what you do, replace the content of your mind with the thoughts of Bhagavan. When you do, let the mind content or with your chitta and the mana, the content of those vrittiya, those vrittis should be all related to Bhagavan. Whatever you do for Bhagavan, whatever his actions are, they must have linked with Bhagavan. You put all your thoughts linked with Bhagavan and then you perform action. That is the way one can place the mind with thoughts of Bhagavan onto Lord. Let your intellect dwell me. Here is the importance again of the small I, that is the ahankar related to this mana or buddhi, that is the witness consciousness within, the spark of divinity within. It is connected to I, the Supreme Lord. So that if you allow your intellect to dwell in Him, then you have the possibility of getting direct contact with Him, because that is the highest level. The intellect is the highest level of contact with the Brahma. That is the mirror which is very close to to receive the reflection. The antakaran में जो बुद्धि होती है, वो बुद्धि एक तरह का अंत vehicle होता है, which receives the reflection of Bhagavan onto that directly, and then it can spreads over all over the place. So the goal has to be set. Once you have the goal set, that you have God realization is my goal. Once you set the goal and replace the content of your mind with thoughts of Bhagwan, empty all those things to outside world, outside, whatever remains, put the tag of Bhagwan into that and offer that all the time when you perform action, yat karosi, yadasanasi, yad duhosi dadasi, whatever action you perform, Purusha Madarpanam, you offer that to Bhagwan as an offering. Once you have that as an offering to Bhagwan, then it is not your action. You have tagged this Bhagwan as such. The action which you are performing will not be yours, which will be beyond your desire, beyond the desire prompted action. They will not be served, Visayak. There will be na Visayak. Now, there is in Bhagavatam, there is one verse which I would like to quote here in this connection. It says, Chetah khalvasya bandhaya muktaye tatmano matam gunesu saktam bandhaya ratam va pungsi muktaye. Captivity in Maya and liberation from it, that is determined by mind. Whether you are allowing yourself to be a captive of Maya, that is sansara, that is the elusive sansara, are you captive of that? Are you allowing yourself to involve in the sansara and remain captive there? Or you want to get liberated from it? It is determined by the mind. It is the mind which plays a pivotal role in allowing yourself to shift from the activities of the world to the activity related to Bhagavan. If it is attached to the world, one is in bondage, and if mind is detached from the world, one gets liberated. These two words are very important: attached and detached. The mind is such that it needs something to catch on to. You put something onto that, like the story of the jinn who is restless, wants to do something at your command. The jinn will come to you and ask, tell me what to do. You will give him the work. Immediately he will finish the work and say, what next? Another work, what next? You know this story. And they say, all right, put a pole there, go up and down, up and down. Now, when the jinn goes up and down, he has no other work to perform. Let your jinn of the mind get Bhagavan tagged actions to perform. He will be keeping your mind attached to Bhagavan, detached from the world. So the beauty of action, how to get action purified, is to get into it, that tag of Bhagavan into it, detached from the world, and attached to Bhagavan. So hence attach your mind and intellect onto me, that Bhagavan says. A mind absorbed in. So what is happening now? This is what is called para bhakti. That is, you are absorbed in Bhagavan alone. You are immersed in Lord. The mind and intellect must not be wavering. The content of the mind should be the Brahma. The intellect, you dive deep into the infinite Brahma. And how this can happen? As I mentioned, this is the highest level of spiritual practice in Bhakti Yoga. This is called Para Bhakti. But important here is, it is important that in order to have that Para Bhakti, to be able to tag everything to Bhagavan, it requires your mind to be niruddha. Chitta ki niruddhata. Chit must be able to concentrate. How one is able to do chitta niruddhata is given this verse, which we have already gone through when we dealing with chapter 6, 6:20. Yatro paramate chittam niruddham yoga sevaya yatra chaivatmanatmanam pasannatmani tusyati. That person who is in the state, through the practice of yoga, you cannot attain just like that. You must have purification of mind through practice of yoga. Once then the mind gets stilled. That is the niruddham. When the mind is still, then you are able to behold the self. Self means capital S, that Paramatma, which is everywhere, which is also residing in the heart. But through the self, through the small self, you are able to behold the or feel the existence of Brahma within you. Only when your mind is niruddha, the mind is settled, mind is very much concentrated, it's purified to the extent that it is not the monkey mind, it is not the donkey mind, it is not the butterfly mind, it is a crane mind, and subsequently it is yogi mind. We have dealt with long time back that चित्त भूमि, चित्त की और मन की 5 अवस्थाएं होती हैं. चित्त होता है क्षिप्त, restless, constantly shifting from one thoughts to other. Mood, that is unable to remain steady, it is lazy, it is dull, that is mood. Vikshipta, occasionally able to focus, that is Vikshipta. Ekagra is like crane mind, it is single pointed, but yet possibility of distraction remains. But when it is Niruddha mind, it is yogi's mind, contemplative mind, that is completely still, absorbed in Bhagavan. Then he gets this deep peace and supreme bliss. Now, we have talked about earlier how to slowly and slowly get absorbed into Bhagavan, and there is a process which we practice. Now, when we practice meditation, then I had mentioned earlier also that you let your mind remain within the frame which are in front of you. You try then to concentrate on one part, either on the flute or at the feet, and remain there. Don't allow to go away out of the frame. Gradually and gradually, that niruddhata will come, and you will be able then go beyond the image. Image is the way to concentrate, but that is not the final. The final stage is to realization that behind the Brahma, that is power, that is supreme consciousness, that is everywhere, not within the frame itself. It is everywhere. There's no place in the world where Bhagavan is not. We all know that theoretically, but that feeling has to come in once you start working towards it and feeling that there is something deep into it. There's a beautiful verse in Svetaswara Upanishad which says, Tilesu tailam dadiniva sarpe apa srota swaraniva chagni evam atmatmane grihatyeso satyai naina tapasayonu pasyati. If you have got a same seed on your hand, तिल आपके हाथ में है, आप तिल देख रहे हैं, लेकिन तिल में जो तेल है क्या दिख रहा है आपको? Are you able to see the presence of oil in that same seed on your hand, on your palm? You see the milk. In the milk, do you see the butter? When you have the spring, in the spring, do you see the volume, the molecule of water? एक लकड़ी का पीस है, do you see the presence of fire in that wood? That is the observation of self within the self. The ability to, this is called aparoksh jnana. Pratyaksh jnana, paroksh jnana, और अपरोक्ष ज्ञान। प्रत्यक्ष ज्ञान जो आपको दिख रहा है, आपके सामने में है, एक फ्लावर है, यू कैन सी द फ्लावर, but there is paroksha gyan that you is not there available to you, but it is in library, in the books. Somebody has told you, oh, this is this variety and this flower, or many varieties, all those we get in the books and here and there. But there is another knowledge which is aparoksha gyan, which is beyond this pratyaksha or paroksha gyan, and that is the knowledge of having the picture of, having the understanding of Brahma within everything. There is nothing in the world in which Bhagwan is not. But do we realize that? One should start realizing the presence of Brahma in each and everything that we experience in the world. Each and everything that comes in, you come in contact with, we should imagine presence or realize the Bhagwan presence. Even if in the bhakti, you are praying to Lord, you are, all the praises are there, you have the image of Bhagwan there, but a time comes when you should start thinking that Bhagwan is not only there. Bhagwan is not only in the temple. Yes, to go to temple is important, very important. But then after a while, even you are wherever you are sitting, you have the presence of Bhagwan there. The temple, you don't have to go to the temple. The temple will come to you. That will be the imagination you can conceive within yourself, that the presence of Lord is everywhere. You don't have to go in search of Lord, but your thoughts will tell you that Bhagwan is here in you, within you, outside you, in everything you see, every article you perceive, that presence of Bhagwan is all over there. Then Bhagwan says, मन और बुद्धि मुझ में मन को लगाओ तो क्या होगा, क्या फायदा क्या होगा? What will be the outcome? What will you derive out of that? मय्येव मन आधत्स्व मयि बुद्धिम निवेशय, then निवसिष्यसि मय्येव अत ऊर्ध्वम न संशय. At urdhvam, that means thereafter. Commentators have talked about after the fall of the body. So there are two things. One is at present time when you are submitting your man and buddhi, offering your man and buddhi to Bhagwan, at that moment itself, Bhagwan says, you are in me. Also, while you have practiced that, then at the end of your life, when your physical body is no more there, then you will not take rebirth. That means if you have practiced this thing, you have given your man and buddhi onto him, practice that, automatically when the last moment will come, that will remain with you. And at that time, when the body perishes, then that rebirth, which normally happens for everybody, jatasya dhruvo mrityu dhruvam janma mritasya cha, that will not happen to you if you have practiced to offer your man and buddhi onto him. That's what is saying. Ata urdhvam. That means thereafter, Arjun, nivasishyasi mayeva. That person, that soul will dwell in me alone, nowhere else. He will have existence within me. He will come to me. He will not require to take rebirth. And for that, absolutely, there is no doubt. This doubting business in our mind keeps on cropping up all the time. Bhagwan, whatever is saying, will this really happen? Whenever Bhagwan says something, one may have the doubt in it. That's why Gurudev Maharaj, when he also says, इसमें कोई संशय नहीं, that कोई संशय नहीं, a stamp, there is a stamp there is further stamp onto that. There is no doubt that, na sansaya, without any doubt, once you have performed your part, Bhagavan will perform his part. Thank you very much. Jai Sri Krishna, Jai Gurudev.